So when you get your medical marijuana card, you can either choose to have a caregiver, which would be someone growing for you. They grow your product, and then they give you a certain amount a month. Or you can be your own caregiver, grow for yourself, or you can choose a medical marijuana center. So that's how we get our patient count, as they were talking about. That's how we determine how many plants we can grow.
It's ready for them to get there. Jeremiah, how do you create all these? You keep them all in separate rooms? You got 3 in this room and 3 in that? We talked about flowering and vegging. Do you have to keep them separate when you grow them? Or how do you manage to grow a variety of wines?
Well, we have so many strains, say 50 strains, and we just take our clones, and after 2-3 months of veg, then we put them into flower. We have our veg room, flower room. Whatever comes through, that's what we put through. So if we're looking for more of the medicine, more of the CBNs, CBDs, then we try and push those to the dispensary. And we got hybrids, sativas, indicas, and we try to keep everything that anybody could possibly want for their certain illness, sickness, tired.
The state at one time was going to do the seed to sale, but in your grow, you go to the tomato store and you buy, I'm going to make this more sativa or more cannabinoids by pouring in a certain formula. What is the distinction during the grow that keeps all these different brands or flavors separate? Do you have like a row of sativa and that's how you keep track of it?
They're all labeled.
We have a mother room, so we have all these strains.
Mother room.
So we have
like the mothership.
those 75 strains that we have one plant of each one of those in a room. So when we're ready to go take some more plants off those, we'll go clone it, put them in our trays, and then when they start to go get roots in them, then we'll go transplant them, and then they'll sit there for 2-3 months.
And we have a seed to sale system which has barcodes, so that the
and the strain name
and the strain, so that when we pull the clone off and start it into vegetation, a tag stays with it until it goes through all its cycles, and then we can scan it and then get back. So it tracks the plant from the time we clone it to the time we harvest it, and then it gets scanned to go to the store, and then the store scans it in. So we constantly keep a inventory.
So you're like the superstore that you just beep, beep, beep.
Pretty
you have
much.
a hand scanner and you walk down the grow row, your 50
Correct.
row, and you go beep, beep, beep,
So
beep,
to answer your question, a room can have, let's say you have 50 plants in a room. They don't have to be specifically, cannatonic all the way. You can have one cannatonic here and one ISS here, and then you can have another flavor or whatever next to each other. And as they go in the cycle, and it takes about 8 to 9 weeks, depending on the strain, sometimes longer. What it does is as the plants migrate to the stage to get harvest, we harvest them when they're ready. When they start getting some color, that's when we harvest them, and that's what Jeremiah takes care of.
The seed to sale thing, there's a batch number associated with everyone. So like this is the legal sticker that we print out that has to go.
Can you hold that up for the camera?
So it's got,
again, that wasn't the show tonight, but
it's got her
It
name.
has the batch number.
That
We're just going to have to do more shows.
thank you, but this is a real production.
It's very intricate.
Operation.
I was
very
just showing
intricate.
you, it
So
has
much detail.
the batch number on it. So that number that was on the clone, the very beginning, that's on there, and that goes home with the patient when they buy it.
So if they get
They know
sick,
exactly
we
where it
know
came
where
from.
that plant came from. Just like if you go to the market and you buy a piece of chicken, they scan it.
Right.
You eat it, you get sick, you go back to the store and say the chicken was bad, where'd it come from? They look at the scan it, and they know what farm to go to because they get salmonella or whatever.
Right, it's all in some
you're able
database
to
in the
track
sky
it.
here in iCloud or wherever.
Yeah, and we
it
don't just
belongs
keep
to.
like all the island sweet skunk here, all the cannatonic here. They're all spread throughout. So.
And you can do that because it's tagged and you can scan it. And
Well, when
you're
we
able-
harvest, we want to be able to bring a variety to the store. We don't want to be, bring,
We don't
6
just want
ounces of
3.
this. We want to make sure that we have enough. We usually have about 20 different strains within our shelves, and we're all self-sufficient 100%. We don't have to buy from anybody.
The feds have said that they're probably not going to step in, but
You never know.
it's still always that.
We haven't been able to ban
back of
for
our
4
heads.
years. We can't bring money into the bank. You know, they've closed our accounts one after the other
We've
Well,
had
the bank
5.
is federal. It's a Federal Reserve System,
because of the FDIC.
and they want nothing to do with this.
But
How do you,
there are some
sidebar, how do you bank?
there are some credit unions that only have to comply with state law.
Okay.
We had a bank account at one of them, and they closed it. But I think that things are going to be changing very soon.
I mean,
I think it would be in their best interest.
Of course.
Yeah, we've basically gone through about 5 different banks in the past 4 years because they find out what we do. And now it's one of the basic questions they ask when you open an account, whoever you are, do you grow medical marijuana? A business account.
I know they
think we're on our
started
6th.
asking a whole lot more questions. I just was at the bank recently, and the one sheets turned into 17 sheets of, you know, they want to know everything about you.
Mumbo jumbo.
I think we're on our 6th bank account right now. The state and city have both said that they're okay with us using or coming up with a holding company. And so we create a holding company that holds the funds for North Boulder Wellness. We write a letter, we document it, send it off to the state, send it off to the city. They're okay with us having a bank account that way. We got into trouble, or not trouble, but one of the banks found out one time because we got a tax return from the state, and it was made out to our company name. And they put 2 and 2 together, I guess.
And another bank did a annual audit and saw that we advertised or paid for advertising on weed maps. They wanted to know what weed maps was. And then they just closed us down because of that.
And
It's ridiculous.
so we use,
It is.
You know, so when we have rent that we have to pay, you know, or electric bill at Excel for $12,000, we can't walk into Excel and pay them with a stack of $12,000 of bills. So what we do is through these holding companies, we have to go and we're able to get cashier's checks so that, you know, we're not walking around with lumps of money. You know, when we pay the rent for the store, rent for the grow, we have labor from our employees that we have to do through paychecks. All that stuff is, we just can't be constantly like money. So, you know, they make it difficult for us.
Support for this program has been provided by North Boulder Wellness Center provides organic medical marijuana in a discreet and welcoming environment. The staff is trained to help you find peace in a plant. Phone 720-328-0118 or visit them online at northboulderwellness.com.